Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are finishing up Codominance by Curly Star 09, and we are reading chapters 39 and 40. Chapter 39, the next chapter. On the day of his birthday, Kirishima woke up to his twins playing on the bed next to him while Bakugou kissed him awake. It felt so unreal that Kirishima thought he was dreaming. He would never completely believe that this was his life. "Happy birthday, love," Bakugou told him with a soft smile. Kirishima leaned in and kissed his partner once more. "Thank you, sweetheart," he grinned as he pulled away. "What are you two pebbles doing here?" He gasped playfully at the twins who were busy with some toys. He kissed them on the cheek before pulling away to find Bakugou staring at him. "Thought I would make you some breakfast. I made plans for us," Bakugou explained. "Us?" Kirishima said, pointing between him and Bakugou. "Or us?" He gestured toward all four of them. "Us," he said with a chuckle, pointing at Kirishima and himself. "Have our favorite babysitter on the job for the evening." "And where are we going?" Kirishima asked with a raised eyebrow. "Don't worry about it," Bakugou told him with a shrug. "Katsuki!" "What? Can't I surprise you?" Bakugou tried to act annoyed, but he was holding back a smirk. "Sure you can, but I still want to know," Kirishima pouted. Bakugou kissed it away. "Fat chance." Kirishima let out a groan, letting himself fall back into the bed, just to feel how Akio and Katsumi started leaning against him for sitting support. "If you two know something, this would be a great time to start talking," he mumbled to them before kissing both of them, making them giggle in delight. He stayed in bed a little longer with them while he heard Bakugou working in the kitchen. He finally got out of bed when Bakugou announced breakfast was almost ready. He grabbed one baby in each arm and carried them out to the kitchen, setting them down on their high chairs before heading to the bathroom to brush his teeth and wash his hands. He stopped to look at himself in the mirror, 1 year older, but so different. He smiled at his reflection. He couldn't ask for anything else. "So I made bacon and omelets, and I have your coffee ready," Bakugou explained as Kirishima walked into the kitchen. Kirishima kissed him softly, letting himself linger. "Thanks," he mumbled against Bakugou's lips. "I also have your gift," Bakugou told him with a smirk. "Aw, Cats, you didn't have to get me anything," Kirishima told him, feeling touched. "Yes, I did. Now shut up and eat while I go get it," Bakugou told him, handing Kirishima the plate of food before walking away. Kirishima tried not to chuckle as he went to set his plate down, and he grabbed the twins' food as well. He was taking a bite of his food while he fed the pebbles when Bakugou walked in with a present in hand. "Open it," Bakugou told him as he placed it in front of Kirishima. Kirishima could tell Bakugou was nervous from the way he seemed to pretend he wasn't watching for his reaction. The present was a rectangle wrapped in red wrapping paper and topped with a bow. "What is it?" Kirishima asked curiously as he started tearing the wrapper. "You'll see," Bakugou said as he shifted nervously. Kirishima resisted the urge to tease him, focusing on the task at hand. It didn't take long to see what was inside, stopping short as he looked it over. "Is this a picture frame?" Kirishima asked with a small gasp. "Electronic. You can set it up with your phone, have the pictures changed and all that stuff," Bakugou explained. "I thought that since you have that picture of Akio on your desk, this would make it easier to have more." "Thank you!" Kirishima told him, eyes tearing up. "I love it! Thank you, Katsuki!" "You're welcome, Eijirou," Bakugou smiled. Kirishima had to lean towards him to kiss his partner. "I love you." "Love you too," Bakugou replied without hesitation. "Now let's finish up breakfast. We got stuff to do." Kirishima kissed Bakugou's cheek once before continuing with his breakfast. Time passes. Eri arrived at the house around 2 in the afternoon, a backpack over her shoulders, and an excited smile that she couldn't hide. "I'm here to babysit," she exclaimed excitedly. "I can see that," Bakugou told her with a small chuckle as he ushered her inside.
You sure you can handle both of them? I can always call someone else to give you a hand.
No, I'm fine, I can do it, she told him with so much confidence it was hard to argue against it.
Okay,
Bakugou told her with a sigh.
But if you need any help, call us.
Eri nodded as she entered the living room. Happy birthday, Kirishima! She exclaimed as she rushed over to hug him. Thanks, Eri, he told her with a smile, and thanks for babysitting. Anytime, she told him as she looked around the room.
They're napping,
Bakugou informed her.
They should be napping for an hour or so.
Aww, Eri said, a bit disappointed. Bakugou ignored her as he started giving her instructions.
Listen up, Pipsqueak, he started. We left money on the kitchen counter in case you want to order some pizza or something. There are drinks in the fridge. Help yourself.
You have our numbers, but you can also call Aizawa or Mike if you need anything, Kirishima added. Also, Mina might drop by with some clothes for Katsumi. Other than that, please don't let anyone inside.
Oh, and before I forget, don't go in our room. That's my only rule.
Bakugou told her with a small glare. Eri rolled her eyes at him. I've seen your Red Riot shrine before, but fine, I'll stay out of there. Your what? Kirishima asked, mouth dropping open as he turned to stare at Bakugou, whose face was deep red. Bakugou ignored Kirishima as he tried to defend himself.
It's not a fucking shrine, it's a collection and a fucking secret.
Kiri has one for you too, so why is this a problem? She asked with a shrug. Also, do I need to feed Al and Riot? She asked, as if the two grown men in front of her weren't having panic attacks.
No, you don't need to feed them,
Bakugou said through tight teeth. Okay, awesome, Eri told him with an innocent smile. After a few more comments and exchanges, they both said goodbye and rushed out the door, standing awkwardly on the other side of what felt like an eternity. So, where's your shrine? Kirishima asked way too nervously for it to come out as the joke he intended it to be.
I don't know. Where's yours?
Bakugou countered, knowing his face was beyond red. In a storage unit, Kirishima mumbled.
In the attic,
Bakugou said in response. We have one of those?
Yeah.
They started laughing after a beat of silence. Kirishima pulled Bakugou in for a kiss. I bet my collection is bigger than yours, he said as he pulled away.
Ha! Don't make bets you can't win, eh?
Bakugou laughed. We will see about that. Kirishima shrugged as he took Bakugou's hand as they walked towards the car. What's the plan? Or am I still not allowed to know?
I ain't telling you shit yet,
Bakugou told him, but he couldn't hide his excited smile. Kirishima shook his head, but he knew to trust Bakugou by now. He got into the car and made himself comfortable as he tried to select a song to start their drive to. Bakugou started driving while Kirishima tried to guess where they were going. I'm guessing this isn't going to be a long trip? Kirishima asked, trying to dig for clues.
Don't even try it,
Bakugou told him simply as he took a turn. Kirishima decided to relax instead as Bakugou drove them through the city. This might be my best birthday ever, he said softly as he watched the buildings roll by.
We haven't even done shit yet,
Bakugou told him with a chuckle. Yeah, but I have you and the pebbles, and that's more than enough, Kirishima explained. Bakugou pulled up at a red light before turning towards Kirishima.
I love you,
he said as he looked into Kirishima's eyes, extending his hand for his partner to take. Kirishima couldn't help but smile as he squeezed Bakugou's hand. I love you more, he answered as he leaned towards him and kissed Bakugou quickly. Where are we going?
Still not telling you,
Bakugou told him before he continued driving. He took them a good half an hour or more before Bakugou pulled up to their destination. Kirishima knew where they were as soon as he saw it. He couldn't help but smile as he turned to look at his partner. Hiking? He asked.
Got your hiking boots in the trunk. There's a reason we aren't wearing anything fancy,
Bakugou told him with a shrug. So what path are we taking? Kirishima asked.
The shorter one, since we don't have much time,
Bakugou explained. I thought Eri could stay late, though. Kirishima questioned as he took off his seatbelt. Bakugou shrugged.
Hiking at night can be dangerous, though.
Kirishima let out a hum in agreement, even though he was sure Bakugou had gone night hiking before. Maybe he was confusing it with a camping trip? They got out of the car and went to the trunk. Bakugou had packed their bags for them. Kirishima couldn't help but remember their first hike together, his first hike ever. Bakugou had gotten everything ready, complaining as he did so, but not once did he let Kirishima back out. As they got their gear ready and Kirishima changed his shoes, he couldn't help but notice that Bakugou was quieter than usual before a hike. "Are you okay?"
"Yeah, I'm good,"
Bakugou replied. Kirishima wanted to press a bit more, but Bakugou was already leading the way to the trail. The trail would take them an hour there and an hour back if they didn't stop along the way. It didn't take them long to get started, falling into a comfortable walking speed side by side. "I can't remember the last time we did this," Kirishima pointed out as he looked around at the autumn-colored trees, leaves crunching under his feet.
"It's been a while,"
Bakugou agreed.
"I think we haven't gone on a long hike since maybe shortly before we graduated."
"Hard to hike for a long time when you're always on call," Kirishima chuckled as he elbowed Bakugou lightly. Bakugou let out a short laugh in response, but Kirishima saw the way his elbows pulled together as he thought something over. Kirishima let him think as they walked in silence, enjoying the fresh air and his partner's company.
"I pulled away,"
Bakugou said quietly. "What?"
"I pulled away from you. I thought I would get over you if we weren't spending so much time together."
"How did that work out for you?" Kirishima teased as he grabbed Bakugou's hand, squeezing it.
"Horribly."
Bakugou laughed before kissing the back of Kirishima's hand. "So glad it didn't work out."
"Me too."
Bakugou smiled softly at himself. "You know, we should bring the pebbles hiking with us. I think they will like it," Kirishima suggested.
"Yeah, I think so too,"
Bakugou agreed.
"My parents started hiking with me when I was a toddler, so they're around the right age."
"We should plan it out then. Maybe when spring comes around?"
"I think we should plan their birthday first,"
Bakugou told him thoughtfully. "Oh, that is coming up, isn't it?" Kirishima said as he tried to figure out how much time they had before the twins' birthday. A bit less than a month should be enough time.
"We are throwing the biggest fucking birthday party ever for them,"
Bakugou said with a wicked grin. "They are going to be so spoiled, aren't they?" Kirishima laughed.
"Aren't they already?"
Bakugou shrugged. Kirishima let out a sigh, accepting his fate. "Okay, that's true. What's the budget?"
"I want to go big, but not too big since we are also going to have to pay for the wedding."
Bakugou stopped himself short, snapping his mouth closed. Kirishima stopped walking, looking at Bakugou with wide eyes as he also pulled him to a stop. "The what?" he asked. He must have heard wrong. There's no way. Bakugou's face was deep red as he stumbled over his tongue to form a single word.
"Shit,"
was the only thing he was able to get out that made sense. "Katsuki, what's going on?" Kirishima questioned, not daring to move a muscle.
"Fuck it,"
Bakugou huffed as he ran his free hand through his hair. He glanced around nervously before sinking to a knee.
"I had a whole fucking plan, but I guess this works too."
Kirishima could only stare as Bakugou looked up at him.
"I don't have the ring with me,"
Bakugou said nervously.
"Eijirou, you are... fuck. You're the love of my life. I've loved you for so long, and I don't want to waste another second. So, will you marry me?"
Kirishima felt the tears rolling down his cheeks. "Yes, of course. I love you," practically screamed before dropping to his knees to be at eye level with his partner, fiancé. He took Bakugou's face in his hands before kissing him.
"I want you to know that I had a whole plan,"
Bakugou told him, but he couldn't stop smiling between kisses. "This was perfect," Kirishima assured him. Time passes. Bakugou had felt like an idiot, letting his plans slip like that. He had been so nervous for the last couple of days, keeping it all a secret, just ruining it while everyone was back at his place setting up for the proposal. Now they were walking back to the car after their hike, already engaged, and he had to explain to Kirishima what was waiting for them back at home.
So, Mina wasn't coming over to drop off clothes, and it wasn't only her coming over,
Bakugou said nervously as they climbed into the car. Wait, what? Kirishima asked.
I told you, I had a whole plan.
Bakugou started with a sigh.
I have a whole setup waiting for us back home.
Katsuki, that's so manly. Kirishima gushed as he leaned over to kiss his fiancée.
Yeah,
Bakugou told him, but there was a slight blush on his face. Do you want me to act surprised when we get there? Kirishima offered as he started to drive.
No,
Bakugou said as he made a face.
It's going to be obvious as fuck once we get there.
What did they do?
Well, the plan was to decorate the entryway, have candles light the way to the living room, which Mina said she would decorate. I told her to keep it simple, but I'm more than sure she went overboard.
Oh yeah, that sounds like her, Kirishima laughed.
So, just know that I had no control over that, other than the outfits the gremlins are going to be wearing.
Bakugou let out a sigh. What are they wearing?
You'll see,
Bakugou told him with a shrug, enjoying the way Kirishima seemed to perk up at that. The rest of the drive was peaceful as they talked about their plans. It wasn't until they were getting close to their house that Bakugou grew nervous. Kirishima had already said yes to him, but it didn't help the jitters that made it hard to sit still. He heard Kirishima gasp as their house came into view. The candles weren't restricted to the inside as Bakugou had asked.
Oh, fuck,
Bakugou mumbled, knowing they were about to walk into a bigger proposal than he had planned. Kirishima let out a laugh as he parked. I want you to know that if I had seen this without you proposing first, I would have thought we had the wrong house. Bakugou groaned.
If the gremlins weren't in there, I would tell you we should go somewhere else.
Come on, Kirishima told him, before kissing Bakugou softly. If Bakugou hadn't asked Kirishima to marry him already, he would have done it right there and then. Honestly, it was shocking he had waited so long to do so.
I can't wait to marry you,
he mumbled against his fiancée's lips. Kirishima smiled. Shall we go to our proposal then?
At least I know you'll say yes.
We'll see about that, Kirishima teased before kissing him once more. They exited the car, Bakugou extending his hand to Kirishima, who took it without hesitation.
You ready?
Kirishima nodded. Bakugou prepared himself. He had asked for something simple, but when he opened the door, he was glad that their friends had no restraint. The dim light of the candles illuminated a trail of red and white rose petals. Bakugou heard the way Kirishima took a sharp breath at the sight.
Come on, love,
Bakugou told him as he guided Kirishima slowly through their home. He hadn't told Kirishima about the pictures, and that was the next thing he saw. Pictures of them, starting from their first year at UA, all the way to them with the twins. He could feel Kirishima shaking, and a glance confirmed what he had suspected. Kirishima had tears rolling down his face, but his smile never faltered. The furniture in the living room had been moved to the sides, leaving a wide open area. A banner that read, "Will you marry me, Red?" hung over a small table where a ring box was waiting for them. Sweetheart, Kirishima was able to get out as Bakugou grabbed the ring box. Bakugou opened the ring box, showing the simple black ring inside.
Have I told you that I loved you?
He asked, suddenly feeling shy. Kirishima laughed, cupping Bakugou's face and kissing him once, twice, until he lost count. A chorus of "I love you" scattered between kisses. Bakugou felt his heart beating wildly as he tried to decide if he should pull away or let this continue. Then he remembered that someone was probably recording this, so for the second time that day, he sank to one knee, holding on to Kirishima's hand.
Kirishima Eijirou,
he started, taking a short pause to stare at the love of his life, his soulmate, his equal, and his other half.
You are... fuck.
He was crying.
I never thought I would want to get married, or that I would even be able to date you. You are my best friend, my hero partner, my co-parent, my #1 supporter. You looked at the piece of shit I am and stayed, even when I was an asshole to you. For that, I will always be so thankful.
Kirishima wiped at his tears with the back of his hand.
I want to make this official. Make us official. Will you marry me?
Bakugou asked, his voice starting to shake, with nerves even though he knew the answer. Bakugou Katsuki, Kirishima started, his voice shaky as he tried his best not to break down into sobs. I have loved you for so long. I will love you for the rest of my life. And even if I die, I think I will not stop loving you. Bakugou couldn't help the chuckle that escaped his lips, because he knew he wouldn't stop loving Kirishima even if the universe itself imploded. Yes, Kirishima said as he pulled Bakugou to his feet. Of course I will marry you. Bakugou placed the ring on Kirishima's finger. He kissed it into place before kissing his fiancée. They heard the cheers as their friends and family came out of hiding. Some walked in from the backyard. They didn't pay any attention to them, too lost in the moment. It wasn't until a small "that" broke through that they turned to find Akio and Katsumi nearby. Bakugou's parents had the twins in their arms. Kirishima gushed as he noticed the "Will you marry daddy" onesies they were wearing. Akio was wearing red pants with his, while Katsumi was wearing a puffy red skirt with a huge matching bow on her head. They spent the next hour or so getting congratulated by their friends. Most of their former class was there, their mentors and former teachers. There were a lot of people in their house, but Bakugou didn't care. He didn't let go of Kirishima's hand the whole time. Now and then, they would pull each other close for a kiss. They were ready for the next chapter of their life, and Bakugou couldn't wait for it to start. Chapter 40. Epilogue. Bakugou fidgeted nervously at his tie. He was still trying to decide if he should wear it or not. Fuck it, he was losing the tie. He never liked them anyway. He looked at himself again, making sure he was ready. It was their wedding day after all. That thought made him smile at his reflection. It had been a chaotic last couple of months with the trials, the wedding planning, and getting the twins used to a routine after everything that had happened. Bakugou was amazed that they got the wedding planned so quickly. Then again, they were keeping it as small as possible. The trials had caused such a media storm that it had been hard to keep their family out of the public eye. He ended up going nuclear, threatening anyone who posted, printed, or released information about their children without their authorization was going to end up on the ugly side of a lawsuit and his fist. After that, they had an easier time, and the paparazzi seemed to disappear from one moment to the next. They had moved their wedding date closer than what Bakugou had expected. If he was honest, he had been waiting for Kirishima to change his mind. That was until the day Kirishima announced he wanted a spring wedding. He wanted to be married as soon as possible, for no other reason than not being able to wait any longer for them to be married. The ceremony took place in a venue they had found by pure luck, a bed and breakfast in the middle of the woods near enough to the city for a day trip, but isolated enough that they wouldn't have to worry about unexpected guests. They had wanted to have the ceremony outside, but decided to take advantage of the beautiful reception hall the place had. One of the walls is made of glass, looking out to the beautiful landscape. They were going to be married standing in front of it. Bakugou put on his suit jacket, checking himself in the mirror one last time. He had decided to go without the tie, seeing as Akio loved to pull on them every single time he wore one. As if on cue, Sero walked in holding both Akio and Katsumi in his arms. I know I said I wanted some practice before my baby is born, but I need some help here, he exclaimed. Bakugou chuckled. Katsumi was reaching out for him, so he took her into his arms.
Hello, my princess.
He greeted her as he kissed her cheek. She was wearing the puffiest dress they could have found. The red and orange mixed so nicely. Bakugou had to remember to thank his mom for the dress again. Akio was wearing a white suit with a red and orange clip-on tie. Bakugou was surprised it was still on.
"Hello, champ,"
Bakugou added as he kissed Akio's cheek as well. "Denki wants to know why he isn't allowed to walk with Katsumi down the aisle," Sero informed Bakugou with an eye roll.
"The fact that Katsumi can't see him without crying after that stupid prank he pulled is not enough of a reason for him,"
Bakugou huffed. "I'm only telling you in case he asks again," Sero warned him.
"I'll deal with him later."
Bakugou brushed it off, at least for now.
"Is Eijirou ready?"
"Almost," Sero assured him. "Don't be too nervous. He isn't going to run out on you now," Sero joked. Bakugou would have blasted him if he wasn't carrying Katsumi, and Sero didn't have Akio in his arms.
"Where's your wife?"
Bakugou asked. Ashido would have a better chance of controlling Sero than him anyway. "Sitting in her seat already," Sero shrugged. "She is almost 8 months pregnant, so be happy she's here at all. I would rather her be home relaxing."
"She would kill you before missing this."
"Why do you think we're here?" Sero let out a sigh.
"Come on, I need to meet up with Eijirou,"
Bakugou told him. Akio and Katsumi talked to each other in the babbling language only they understood. They were happy, and that's all that mattered. They knew a couple more words now, enough to say yes or no. They knew each other's names, even if Akio said Sumi and Katsumi said Kyo. Their babies were growing, and it took all of Bakugou's strength not to beg them to stop. "Katsuki!" Bakugou turned around, smiling, as soon as he saw Kirishima walking towards them. Kirishima's hair was braided down his back. The black suit he was wearing matched his own. "Sweetheart," Kirishima said as a greeting before kissing Bakugou. "We need to take pictures." He took Akio from Sero with a quick thank you.
"You look gorgeous,"
Bakugou said in awe. "And you look so manly and amazing," Kirishima replied. Bakugou pulled Kirishima forwards for another kiss. They made their way outside where the photos were being taken. "Would you like this to be a family portrait then?" the photographer asked as he adjusted his camera.
"Yes,"
Bakugou told him.
"At least the first few."
They stood next to each other, their kids in their arms. Their family was together as it was meant to be. Time passes. "Katsuki," Kirishima started his vows as they stood in front of their friends and family, but his eyes were only focused on the man standing next to him. "You are my best friend. I've told you so many times, but I want you to know how much I mean that. You are the one who inspires me to be better in every sense of the word. I don't think I would be the man I am today without you in my life. I promise I will stand by you until I take my last breath. Even then, I would not leave you. I will find you in whatever comes after. That's what soulmates do, right? I believe that I would find you in any universe. Even if I didn't get to hold your hand as I do now, I know I love you in every single one of them. Katsuki, you are the light of my life. I promise to work hard to prove I am worthy of standing by your side. I will prove to be your equal every day. Most importantly, I promise to love every part of you, even the ones that you hate, because to me, they make you the amazing man I adore. I love you, Bakugou Katsuki. I am beyond lucky to be standing here today, even more knowing our kids are here, knowing that you are their father and they have you to look up to. I will be your unbreakable horse for as long as you want me." Kirishima finished, his eyes full of unshed tears. Bakugou wasn't any better as he wiped away a spilled tear with the back of his hand as Kirishima placed the wedding ring on Bakugou's finger. Bakugou took a breath.
"Eijirou, my love, my rock, my everything,"
he started, trying to remind himself that he was in public.
"You never give yourself enough credit. You don't see what I see. You are the strongest, sweetest, most kind-hearted man I have ever met. I would be lying if I ever said I didn't fall in love with those qualities and so many more. I can't count the amount of times you have saved me, not only from villains, but from myself. You say you're the man you are today because of me, but you have no idea how much you changed me. I used to be so different until you came into my life. I learned to open up because of you. No matter how much I tried to push you away, you never left my side. I am so thankful for that. The fact that you saw who I could be before even I knew. You have never given up on me, and I will never give up on you. You are you are the love of my life. I have loved you for so long. I never thought I deserved to be by your side. The thought of you wanting to marry me is still hard to believe. So, thank you. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being my partner, my lover, my co-parent. Thank you most of all for that day we found that little boy with black hair and red eyes when you decided he would stay with us while I was still in shock, for letting me be part of Akio's and Katsumi's lives. I will try to be the best father for them, but it's going to be hard knowing you're their father as well.
Bakugou let out a chuckle.
Thank you for never letting go of my hand. I love you.
He finished as he placed the ring on Kirishima's finger. Kirishima's face had trails of tears running down it, but he didn't seem to care as he took a step forward. He cupped Bakugou's face in his hands, and he kissed his husband. He could hear everyone around them cheering, someone declaring them husband and husband. He kept kissing Bakugou into their own happily ever after, or maybe it was the next chapter. Okay, before I say anything else, I do want to say this chapter, this epilogue, is another one that has a piece of fan art linked inside of it, so if you're curious about that, please go over and check that out. It's in chapter 40. Also, another huge thank you to CurlyStar09 for letting me record this fan fiction. I love it so much, and thank you so much. I'm not sure if you're listening to this, but if you are, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't thank you enough. Everyone out there who really enjoyed this one, I don't normally ask for likes on videos, but please, think about supporting the videos so that they get out there to more people, so that more people can see them. Not only liking this video, but going over to the original on AO3. As in every single video, it is linked in the description. Please go over, give CurlyStar09 all the kudos and comments for such an amazing story. I love this fic so much, how their characters seem so canon, and this actually feels like something that could have happened in the story if it was more of had more romance elements to it than just shonen aspects. All right. Thank you guys so much for taking this journey with me. Thank you for being willing to listen to one of my favorite fics that are out there, and going on this ride while I PODFIC'd it. I can't wait to start the next one, and I hope that I will see you in the next video.